Mati travail tête nous grade soublé. Pour le faire baisser les amboles bien fait. La maillot Mbappé, Mbappé, Mbappé. La maillot Mbappé, c'est mon ouïe. En tant que mon responsabilité.
Mano Charlemagne, the well-known Haitian folk singer, former mayor of Port-au-Prince. He was singing at the Tap Tap restaurant in Miami, where he sings several times a week. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I am Amy Goodman. A prominent Haitian New York community activist has been released after being jailed for 3 weeks by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Jean Montreville was arrested last month for a 20-year-old drug conviction for which he'd already served 11 years. He hasn't broken any laws since. Montreville married an American citizen. He's the father of 4 children who are U.S. citizens. He's a longtime community leader in New York City and active in a number of immigrant rights groups, including Families for Freedom and the New York City New Sanctuary Movement, as well as Detention Watch Network. Jean Montreville was hours away from being deported to Haiti earlier this month when another prisoner got sick with a fever, forcing a delay. Less than a week later, the earthquake struck Haiti. While the U.S. announced it would no longer deport Haitians, Jean Montreville could have faced a lengthy stay behind bars. But a grassroots campaign led by immigrant rights groups and clergy helped force immigration officials to set him free. In this national broadcast exclusive, Jean Montreville joins us now from our New York studio 3 days after his release from jail. We're also joined by the Reverend Dr. Donna Scopper. She's the senior minister at the Judson Memorial Church, where Jean Montreville worships. Along with Montreville, she's actively involved in the New York City New Sanctuary Movement and helped organize the campaign for his release. Let's go right away to Jean Montreville. Talk about what happened to you. Talk about how it is that you ended up back in jail just a few weeks ago.
Well, Amy, I want to say good morning to you. About 3 weeks ago, as you know, I was on supervision, and I've always checking with INS, immigration official, every 2 weeks. And on December 30th, as always, I went to check in for what's supposed to be a routine check-in. But that day, they decided that it was time for me to be deported, and I was detained. There was no warning. They didn't tell me in advance to prepare to come. I just went, and then that day, they decided that it was time for me to be deported to Haiti. And then, as you know, I was held at Varick Street and then transport to York, Pennsylvania, where I stayed for 24 days.
Now, just explain. You served time for a drug conviction. Explain when you were convicted, how long you were in jail, and then how long you were out of jail.
Well, I mean, back in 1989, during the drug epidemic, you know, it was a crisis in this country. I was arrested and convicted for possession with intent to distribute. And then I spent 11 years in prison because of that. And then while I was in prison, that's when immigration started proceeding to deport me. And in 1994, I was ordered to be deported, even though I didn't have a fair hearing for people like myself who have a green card. And the judge ordered me deported in 1994 while I was still behind bars. And when I was released in 2000, immigration did not come to pick me up. And I was released and placed on supervision. After 5 years in supervision, while I'm running my own business, got married, met my wife, having children, and living my life like a normal citizen. And that's when, in 2005, immigration started. What was supposed to be my last time reporting to my supervision officer, I was detained for 6.5 months, and they was trying to deport me then. At that time, Haiti was not taking any deportees because of their own turmoil they have in Haiti. The president had just been deposed in Haiti, and then they again had to release me. And I have been home since then, on supervision, going to check-in. Sometimes was twice a month. Before that, it was 3 times a week, still on supervision, until recently they decided that it was time for me to be deported. But I have been home for the past 10 years.
Warning, Gene?
Yes.
Gene, did you have any warning when they picked you up this time? And where did they take you? And then explain what happened after your, what was it, 3 weeks in the immigration jail. Mm-hmm. What happened next? Well,
3 weeks ago, when I went to check in at 401 Broadway, it's a ASAP program they have there with the ankle bracelet, which I had at one time in my legs. And there was no warning. My supervisor, the officer who always supervised me, had asked me to come on Wednesday because it was going to be a holiday, and then they was going to close on Friday. So when I went in, I didn't expect to, to be detained. So I had always with me my people from my church that always accompanied me to my check-in. So when I got there, and I knew that something was wrong because it was taking a long time. And then finally I saw 2 ICE agents, 2 officers that came in, they called me inside the room, and then they say, Gene, we're going to take you to 26 Field Plaza to discuss my case. So I thought, okay, we're going over there and then talk about the case. But when I got there, they put handcuffs on me, and then they said that I'm being detained for removal. It was a surprise to me. I didn't know at that time what to do. I called my wife, and she didn't know what to do. And she called my pastor, Dana, and who was overseas at that time in Spain driving, and we gave her the bad news. And I believe right after that I was transported to Varick Street, where the same night they drove me to York, Pennsylvania, the same night, and then I stayed there for the past 3 weeks. And when I got there, that's when I was told, you're going to be deported. I was going to be leaving on Monday, which was the 4th. And Monday, while we were ready to leave, I was already dressed up, shackled up, handcuffs on. My street clothes, they had already given me back my street clothes, money that I had, everything. And until a nurse came by and started taking people's temperatures. Apparently, before you being deported, they have to verify that you're not sick. And they discovered another Haitian guy that was with me. He had a very high fever, and I believe 106, very sick guy. And I was telling him that, listen, you need to tell these people that you are sick, not thinking that they was going to cancel the flight at that time. But apparently they did. They canceled the flight, and then on the 6th, I didn't get to go to Haiti. And they quarantined everyone, and I stayed there until, as you know, the earthquake happened. Still didn't want to release me, and I was released last Saturday.
And Gene Montreville, were people waiting for you in Port-au-Prince? Were they already at the airport?
Yes. Yes. My twin sister had called some friends in Haiti and sent them to the airport and wait for me. While they're at the airport, they saw that the plane came in, but I didn't come. And they also saw my name on the list of all deportees that came in that day. even though I missed the flight, but they still went to Haiti and deport more Haitians. But I was fortunate